What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the most viral political TikToks that we can find. Well, since TikTok's kind of been banned lately, we've been finding Instagram Reels, but that's okay. It's kind of the same thing. I wanted to thank the 7 subscribers who are subscribed to the channel now. It's absolutely crazy. I can't believe it. My promise is to make sure that we do this once a week. But without further ado, let's get into part 2 of January top viral TikToks Instagram Reels.
Studies show that 97% of scientists agree with whoever is funding them.
It's not entirely false, but there is a lot of funding that goes into specific types of research, especially companies who want to use research to prop up their product. For example, say you have a vape and you want it to be like safe. You hire a bunch of different companies, research companies, to do research on it to try to produce safe looking research that's going to back the product. Maybe.
All right, just one question. If I'm not a real man, then why is my bed on the floor? Checkmate, transphobes.
Bunch of vegan TikToks. Those are both 2 solid uses for chicken wings.
Good reminder that the parts you see on an ultrasound don't determine a baby's gender. And how is that possible? Well, think about it like this marker. A blue cap usually means a blue marker, but sometimes marker caps get switched,
like
and in this case, it is
a
pink marker. See, that's what happened to me. They saw something on the ultrasound that usually means it's a boy, but the cap was cap, and I turned out to be a girl.
Just a small critique, if I may. Whenever a doctor sees a blue cap or a pink cap, that cap is indicative of the chromosomal makeup of, say, the marker. Now, you might grow up and say, this blue cap doesn't feel right, so you take off that blue cap and you put on a pink cap. And even though you put a pink cap on this marker, whenever you take off the lid, it still writes in blue. So your analogy is just a little backwards here, because
we love Becky.
On a pig, excuse me, but putting a pink cap on a blue marker
makeup
doesn't
on a pig.
change the color of the marker.
That's crazy. This is a perfect time to remind you to go subscribe. Like and comment while you're at it. Come on now. What are we doing here?
I too think illegal immigrants should be allowed to vote in their own country.
So then go vote in Europe.
I can't tell if this is like satire or something.
I've said it once and I've said it 1,000 times. People from Mexico who have indigenous blood are Native Americans. They are the largest indigenous population in the United States and the least recognized. And despite how much you want to demonize them, their families,
no one wants to demonize nobody, bro. Come on.
Their bloodline has been in the Americas for a lot longer than yours. A lot of indigenous tribes have recognized people from Mexico as tribal people for a long time. In fact, my tribe, the Dene, the Navajo people, a federally recognized tribal nation, second largest tribal nation in the United States.
Why does he keep looking left and right?
We recognize the Mexican people as part of the indigenous population.
Okay, this guy's just yapping.
That means people of the South, and we refer to them as Mexican people, but they are Nakai Dene, and they've been welcomed guests and in a lot of cases a part of our tribe.
Are they guests or part of your tribe, brother?
A lot of the Mayan blue paint that you see on the pyramids in Mexico, they tested that.
All right, this dude is yapping. I'm not really sure what rights we voted against. Oh! Okay, so I've seen this. So apparently the straight guy's on this like Jubilee dating thing, whatever it is, and there's like a transgender, and he realized it was transgender, so he just went up to the balloon and popped it. Nothing wrong with that, I don't think. I mean, come on now. If the guy was interested in transgenders, he has the right not to pop the balloon. What? I mean, what are they trying to do here? They're trying to demonize this.
That man popped fairly immediately. There was a couple other girls that decided to pop their balloons in solidarity with the transgender woman. Now this dude is getting a lot of flack for basically not wanting to date or be partnered with or have interactions with a transgender woman. And what I will say is this: nobody is ever entitled to anybody else's body, period. I'm a gay dude. For straight people, it doesn't matter. If somebody is not into you, you move on, all right? You don't lecture them about their preferences, and you don't say, well, well, like, I'm a black dude. Like, if somebody's not into me, I don't call them, you know, racist or anything like that. Like, I've just never operated like that. And so I think that for the trans people, for the trans community, they need to say, look, you know, some people are not going to be into us, and that's okay. But what you shouldn't do for that heterosexual man is to demonize this dude, bully this dude, or say you know, there's some sort of secret attraction that he has to trans women that is causing him to act this violently towards popping the balloon. And I've heard that as well. So look, fundamentally, nobody is entitled to anybody else's body, period.
Okay, Rob, I think we agree. I appreciate you. What does it feel? What the fuck? What is happening here, bro? What are people consuming online? How many views do these things have? Because I would guess it has 5 views.
You can't spell hatred without red hat. I saw that today. I don't know where it originally comes from, but that's...
And you can't learn knowledge without reading a book.
Someone please explain to me why I don't speak a single word to my Uber driver, and then at the very end, they're like, oh, mommy, let me get your Instagram. He like got out of the car, like helped me with my bag. And I'm like, wait a second. I don't understand. Like, I look like this.
You don't understand?
I'm wearing a "We Will Not Let Hate Win" shirt. My hair is rainbow. And you're gonna hit on me?
Yeah, your hair is rainbow. You look like a clown. We got that off right away. We could tell that. But that's not the point. You're getting mad at this guy because he thinks you're attractive and helps you? I am convinced that people like this person here, Lily, have been traumatized by something in their past. And I feel bad. I really do feel bad for them. I hope that they can figure that out. But the way they project this...
Surprise, surprise.
What does that even mean? He just, so he removed like the LGBTQ flags? Cry me a river, bro. You know what? Zuck's probably just trying to suck a little, you know? He wants a little bit of taste of that Donald Trump. He just wants a little taste. Papa Trump, I'll do anything. Please do not come for us. Papa Trump, please. I promise. We're coming out right at the nick of time, right before you get inaugurated. We're going to come out and we're going to tell you that we're changing our policies and we're getting rid of fact checkers. It's going to be great.
I was curious about the poster you had that said, I think every culture is not equal. There are superior ones.
Yeah, so I have a big issue with this sort of modern push to say that all cultures are equal and take away any ability to discredit certain cultures or bad things that certain cultures do. It seems like if a culture has a bad, blanketly immoral practice, you know, it kind of just becomes one of those things, oh, it's just their culture. It's like, for me, no, I mean, it's their culture, but it's not a good thing that they're doing, right? So some examples of these are like especially things that neglect or ignore the consent of women and children. I would say like bride prices, they commodify women, slavery, Nazis, breast ironing in Cameroon and West Africa, human sacrifice, female virginity testing in Africa and Asia,
cannibalism,
basically super invasive testing to sort of prove that a woman is a virgin before she's married off, which is another one, marrying off women and effectively selling them as if they're a commodity to be bought and sold, forced veiling, so forcing women to veil, forcing women to not speak in public in Afghanistan or to not go to school in Afghanistan. Veiling also happens in Iran. Female genital mutilation, and the list goes on and on. All of those things are consentless, and they predominantly affect women and children. And so I would say that any culture that practices those things is inferior to cultures that do not practice those things.
It's very true. Look, you don't even gotta argue that.
Basic needs shouldn't require a job. Well, then no one will want to work anymore. Okay, you've been convinced that's a bad thing, that lazy people somehow take something from you. If we didn't have to work
my tax dollars
to live, we could actually come together as workers and say, no, that job fucking sucks, I'm not doing that. When you're not forced to work out of desperation, jobs actually have to compete to entice workers. That means incentivizing us to work with higher pay and competitive benefits. Oh, but what about the people who still won't want to work? Okay, picture for a minute you are given the most basic-ass studio apartment and canned food to live on. Are you gonna be content with that? No, you want a PlayStation, you want to go to the movies, you want to go out to eat, you want nice clothes, you want a bigger apartment, you want better food. There are still plenty of reasons to work beyond needing to survive. And Jesus Christ, if we're not striving for that as a society, as technology progresses, as productivity increases, what are we doing? Are you seriously satisfied just boosting shareholder profits? We can do better. And the first step is normalizing the fact that basic human needs required to survive are a right. Stay angry.
Stay angry. Girl, no one is angry. We're confused. What are you talking about, okay? That doesn't make any sense. If you give somebody who has a 1 studio bedroom apartment, whatever the hell you just said, like the government gives them like $2,000 a month for free from my tax dollars, they're still gonna be able to afford their PlayStation and their food and their lazy, fat, obese life. All right, guys, that is the end of part 2. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. What do you guys think? Should we start doing 2 a week or something? Let me know down in the comments, and we'll see you guys next week.